So, Sarah, so great to chat to you today. First off, what can you tell fans about your character and what we can expect to see this season in Cruel Summer?
Yes. Well, my character in Cruel Summer is Cindy Turner. I play the mother of Jeanette Turner, who is one of the two main focal characters on the show. Cruel Summer has us constantly shifting perspective between Jeanette's story and Kate's story. So you see a lot of the relationship in the family dynamic when we're in the Jeanette storytelling situation. We have a really interesting mother-daughter relationship. I think Cindy has a lot of expectations for what life should be and for how to look good and how you should present yourself and how to be a successful family. And when everything starts to fall apart with her daughter, it really throws Cindy for a loop. And so you'll see her kind of take a journey in the show.
The EP of the show is Jessica Biel. What was it like getting to work with her on this project together?
She's so fantastic, but I haven't met her because of the pandemic. So many of our producers, our writers, Tia, our showrunner, nobody was there in person with us because everybody had to be so careful about how many people were on set at the same time. So we I like waved at her from afar on Zoom calls, but besides that, haven't really got to know her. But I'm a huge fan of her other work, The Sinner, especially. I'm like a diehard fan of that show, so I was really excited. Jumped at the opportunity to get to be a part of this one.
What was it like getting to work? I know you might not have gotten to work in person with Jessica, but on the other hand, what was it like getting to work in person with either Olivia or Kiara?
Oh, they're both just so amazing. I mean, not only just such brilliant talents. I mean, just you watch the first two episodes and you're just like, oh my gosh, who are these women? But on top of it, they've got like the most beautiful souls. I think of I mostly worked with Kiara. I only worked a little bit with Olivia, but Kiara, she and I have a lot of similarities in our life. And so we're able to connect on a lot of different levels. But she really cares about not only presenting incredible work, which is what she does. She's an incredible talent, but also being an enormous cheerleader for everybody else. She really takes the role of being a leader on the show so seriously. She wants everybody to feel included all the time. She wants everybody to feel happy and okay and settled. And really, I mean, the whole team over there creates such an amazingly positive work experience that we all just really bonded. It was a very sweet experience, and in a lot of part due to those two girls at the top.
I have to ask because fans are super excited to see you in Cruel Summer, but they're also excited for an upcoming stint you have on Grey's Anatomy. Can you tease anything? What was it like being on set and reuniting with Jesse Williams?
Yeah, it was so wonderful. I love that guy. We have such a great friendship and such a fantastic working relationship together. I was one of the first things I said to him after like our first scene was I just looked at him. I was like, it's so easy to act with you, because we have had this long history of creating this relationship and playing all of these scenes and all of these twists and turns and, being partners to one another, that like falling back into it even 3 years later just felt like we were picking up right where we left off. It was wonderful.
Now we have to ask, are you personally rooting for Jackson and April to get back together? I know a lot of fans have their fingers crossed.
I feel like I've always said that I've been a Japril fan. That was always my my hope for them. But I know that there's a lot of fans, a lot of Japril fans out there. But I can't tell you anything else.
Obviously. And then what is your friendship like with the cast of Cruel Summer and Grey's Anatomy? Do you still keep in touch with everyone?
Yeah, I mean, even just last week for Cruel Summer, we got together at our showrunner's house to watch the next two episodes and just hang out, and it was so wonderful and so fun. And I'm sorry, not the next two episodes, to watch the first two episodes that we were the premiere of it. And we had so much fun. And it's just like such an amazing group of humans. Everybody is so positive. Everybody's so excited about how much people are loving the show. So yeah, and we have a big like epic text going between each other too, so it's fun too. And in terms of Grays, yeah, I have a few friends over there that I've kept in very close contact throughout the last 3 years. So I have like friends for life over there for sure.
And I know what you mentioned, what it was like on set working with the girls on Cruel Summer. What was it like being back on set in Grey's kind of in this pandemic time? Was it weird, or did it feel like you were stepping back in your old shoes?
Yeah, I had gotten accustomed to the working during pandemic times doing Cruel Summer, which was my first experience of working during pandemic times. And everybody on both of those sets really handled all that stuff so well that like when you first start working and like you can't see any crew member's face and your director is like hidden behind a shield and a mask and all of that stuff, it's a little disorienting for sure, but you quickly adjust to it and you still get to experience all of the delight of that interaction that you have with the cast on set and with the crew on set. So it was wonderful. I felt like both Cruel Summer and Grey's Anatomy did an incredible job of following all of the rules really, really well, keeping us all safe and still allowing for us to have a really beautiful experience.
And did you draw any inspiration for your role in Cruel Summer from your time on Grey's, or how did you prepare for this role?
Um, I for me, it's just so much about this role is an exploration of the mother-daughter relationship. And I am a mother of a daughter, and I'm a daughter of a mother. And I think there is so much to draw from. There's drama, there's joy, there's aching pain, both as a daughter and as a mother. And so I had a lot of like real lived experience to pull from to investigate this role. And like the way that Cindy moves through the world is very different than the way my mom, and very different than the way I do. But that mother-daughter connection, I think, is universal. So I used a lot of my own experience to draw from for sure.
I love that. And your fans are super supportive of you, especially with the hype of both of these shows going on right now. How does it feel to see that type of support online?
Oh my gosh, it's just so amazing. I gotta say, the last few weeks, I feel like I've just been in this other state of just like delight. It's so nice to be able to have something I'm really excited about to promote, but then to just see the love flowing. And I mean, when Jesse and I first posted those pictures from our first day on set together, and just the insanity of the reaction online was so amazing and so epic. I just came home kind of like, what is happening? It felt very much, I will say there's something about the pandemic. A lot of people are finding this show and binging it, and have been this past year, because it's a great show to watch when you're stuck in your house and because you don't run out of episodes, right? So I've also been talking to fans a lot on this app called Cameo, which has reminded me that April kind of never left, in that she's ever present, because people are constantly discovering this show. April is very fresh in a lot of people's minds all the time. So it was really lovely and exciting to kind of then get the chance to show back up and have everyone be like, yay. I mean, I felt so privileged and so grateful for the love.
And what's been your reaction? I know that you mentioned that this is kind of a comfort during the pandemic. I know Shonda had also spoken about that's why she wanted to bring back some of the old fan favorites like Derek to the series. What was your reaction when you saw those episodes? I feel like that was like one of the best kept secrets in a long time.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen the episodes, but I saw all of the energy online about it. And when the writers approached me to come back for one episode, I was like, well, this sounds like the best season to come back for an episode, because all these other original characters have been coming back and it's been so amazing and the fans have been so excited about it. So it felt like a really special moment to come back and have a return and have a moment and have a story to tell on the show again. So yeah, I mean, I think they've done something pretty special with the return of these characters.
And then jumping back to Cruel Summer, what do you hope that fans take away from watching this series?
I think one really important thing to take away is, we really explore on the show the intensity of what a rumor can do, which I feel like in the 90s, that was pre-social media. So the rumor mill happened on a much smaller scale, or on like the local news scale. But now the rumor mill goes crazy on platforms like Twitter and stuff like that. One person says one thing, and then all of a sudden, all these articles are written without any fact checking. And like, you're just like, wait a second, that didn't happen. That was a lie. But, and I think that this show really explores how we need to stop and listen and gather information before demonizing someone or condemning someone, like really listening. And it really explores the idea of empathy, because on this show, there are moments when you are like, oh my gosh, Kate is a liar. And then 5 seconds later, like, Jeanette is lying her head off, and you're constantly like, what actually happened and who is telling the truth? And the heart, what it keeps coming back to is that you have empathy for them because they've both been traumatized. And their trauma is revealing itself and manifesting in different ways. And so if we could take a moment to stop and really hear somebody's story before jumping to a conclusion, you can avoid a lot of the pain and agony that gets spun up on social media, but also in these girls' lives on the show. So
I feel like that's especially prevalent in the first 2 episodes. I feel like it was kind of like whiplash, going back and forth, seeing all the plot twists. What was your like reaction watching that back? Was it like shocking watching it, even though you already kind of knew what was happening? Or when you first read the script, what was your reaction to, because I feel like it really pulled the viewer in a lot of different directions. You're like, who do I believe?
yeah, I mean, and that's what keeps you asking questions, because it really does, it makes you test your snap judgments, right? And I think that's a good thing. I think we, especially right now, are so quick to just type something angry and send it out into the world, right? Before actually sitting with something, investigating it, getting curious about it, and then forming an opinion, right? And this show has you doing that all the time. You're like, it's this person. No, it's this person. And it makes you go a little crazy, which I think has a really beautiful lesson in it, to like slow down and shut up and listen and then form an opinion, right? But when I read the script, I fell in love with it immediately. I read the first episode and I loved the jumping between the 3 years. I loved how dramatically Jeanette's life had changed in those 3 years. I love that you're getting little pieces of information in all 3 years. And then I love the way that they did the production design in order to help us track all those things, with the way people look different and the color coding on each of the different years. Your brain starts to just pick up, oh, I'm in 1993. Oh, I'm in 94. Oh, I'm in 95. So I think they've done an exceptional job at helping us keep track of everything, for sure.